search bar Excel and it pulled up a thing, and it gives you an option for My Office X to add that program to, and it gives you access. Yeah, it gives you access to the Excel.
Okay. So if you forget, you have 5 free copies of Microsoft products. And if you forget where they are, I know this doesn't make any sense, but if you go to the email link, over here, let's see here, right here is an advertisement for it right there. You can get Office 365, and there's also a link over here. So if you do the installation here for Office 365, the reason they give you 5 copies is in case you change up your computers a couple times during your schooling, then you can always go back and get another version of it. You just click on it and enter in your information, and you can load that right onto a personal computer. And it's completely free. So that's pretty awesome, I think.
I just clicked on this, it took me straight into the wall of community colleges.
Let's see here. So you clicked on installation guide?
Well, no, I downloaded it through my own thing, but when I clicked on it to open it through my program, through my computer,
yeah.
it took me straight onto wall of community colleges.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. It's kind of weird. Okay. Office 365 is slightly different than the programs on your computer, but they work the same essentially. So what we're learning in here, you can use in the Office 365 suite. All right, so go ahead and check your email, because you should have something there. Do it yourself. Whoops, sorry. Oh, yes, you can. Yes. You'll need... let's see here. Yeah, guys, you don't have to take notes today because we will be busy with this. We're not going to present a whole lot of new information. You didn't get the email? Okay. Well, just follow along. And use this budget worksheet. I'm not sure why. What is your school email address? It's Olivia what? Because it keeps coming up Garber, and I don't think that's right. It's Garber? Oh, okay. All right. So I'll try that again then. Okay, try again, Olivia. Okay, great. All right, so go ahead and respond that you're going to help him. Using proper netiquette, of course. Yeah.
The reference style A1, which refers to columns, letters, was changed. Solution clearly
Uh-huh. Oh, okay, okay. Where did you locate that? It's under File, Options. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's quite a rabbit hole, isn't it? Yes, right. Because it's giving you weird references. Yes, I get it. Well, we're gonna do yes if we have time. If we have time. Yeah. What's that? There we go. There we go. All right. It's gonna cost you. Okay, good. All right. Just, I would just say be careful because you never know where that email is ever going to end up. Yeah. Just saying. You know, you just never know where that thing is going to end up. Say that. Oh, okay. I'd prefer barbecue. Okay. Sheep barbecue. All right. Okay, everybody handed in their email. Anybody still working? You're still working on it? Did you get yours? Okay. All right. All right. So while we're waiting, just talk a little bit about the week. Today we're going to work on Denny's budget. See how that's done. Tomorrow, we're going to be in here briefly, and then we're going to head over to the library. Does everybody know where the library is? Anybody not know where the library is? It's okay to raise your hand. Don't expect everybody to know where it is. Okay. So we're going to meet in here first, then we'll trundle on over there to the library. Wednesday, we're going to do a little bit of in-class research, okay, based upon what we learn at the library. And then on Friday, we're going to do a personal budget. Now, this is for you guys, okay? So I'd like you to start collecting any kind of bills that you've got, pay stubs or that kind of stuff, to do a budget for yourself, all right? Based kind of on what we're doing today. When you hand it in, I want you to put in fake information. Okay, so you're going to duplicate the document. Huh? I don't actually want to know what your bills and income are, okay? This is for you. It's for you, all right? I just want to see that you can do this stuff. However, having a budget is a darn useful thing, right? So I want everybody to be able to do a budget if they want to, right? They're familiar with the process, how to do it. Okay, so you're going to do an actual budget for yourself, duplicate the document, fake the data in that one, and then hand it in to me. Because I don't actually want to know what your information is. Okay? Does anybody have any questions about that? That's going to be on Thursday. Okay. Okay. When did we get to PowerPoints? Towards the end. Yeah. Yep. The last time I ran this class, people said they wanted more time in Excel, so I'm giving more time in Excel. So people get familiar with it. I do want to say, I read the responses when people said, what do they want out of the class? I can tell you, one person said they wanted to do macros. Well, that's just beyond the scope of this class. Unfortunately, we're covering the basics. I don't remember who it was that said that, but what is a macro? Macro is using the program with some programming language that really extends the capabilities of the program, especially with like Excel. And yeah, it makes it takes a powerful program and makes it really powerful. Okay, so lost my cursor. Come on, there we go. Gonna go ahead and hide that. We're gonna go ahead and open up Excel. Right, everybody should get to this really quickly and then open up a blank worksheet. All right, so Bradley, back there in the back, very kindly found out how we can change this top to letters, which it normally is. I knew it was a setting, I just wasn't sure where it was. But if yours is like mine, where it's got numbers down the side and numbers across the top, let's try and fix that. So let's go to File. And we're looking for Options, which is down at the very bottom. File, Options. Okay. When you get into File Options, this dialog box should pop up. And we're looking for formulas now. And there's a checkbox that says R1C1 reference style. Uncheck that. Okay? And then mash on the OK button. That work for everybody? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Good job, Bradley. Thank you very much for that. Really? All right.
You have to do it every day.
Might have to. Oh. Jeffrey? Did it? Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So let's go ahead and start off with a header at the top. Denny Budget. Oh, save it. Yes, let's save that. All right. So let's go ahead and save as, and I'm going to save that as, there's my, it might. What we might do is fix that, save the document, and make that our starter document for every other document that we work on. That's a possibility. That way you don't have to redo it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and use my last name, spelled more or less correctly, and I'm going to say Denny Budget. B-U-D-G-E-T. Looks like Bud Get. I don't know why. Okay. So this is while we're waiting here. What is Excel good for? It's kind of a tricky question. Organizing yourself. That's a great answer. I usually don't get that one. Inventory. It's a good answer. Anybody else? Stop it. Huh?
Keeping track of money.
Keeping track of money. These are all great, and they're leading to where I want to go. Not there yet. Itemizing. Yep. It's kind of in the category of inventory, right? Okay, so big reveal. Excel, what really Excel is good for? Nobody said spreadsheets, which everybody, almost always people say spreadsheets, right? Spreadsheets. Huh?
I thought that's what this was.
It is. It's spreadsheets, right? Well, a spreadsheet is a certain amount of information that you can take in all sort of at one time, right? It's not pages and pages and millions of entries, all right? It's what you can take in sort of at a glance, but the purpose behind it, the big reveal is Excel helps you make decisions. That's what Excel is really there for. So if you're not intending to make decisions based upon it, why even do a spreadsheet, right? You can take that information, but eventually you got to do something with it, all right? So if you take nothing else away from this class, remember, Excel is good for making decisions. That's what its point is. All right. Okay, everybody at this point? We're all good? Okay. Denny budget. So for a budget, we're going to need income. And if we have income, we're going to have what else? Expenses. Income and expenses. Exactly. Okay. So, I keep losing my mouse going in between these two. There we go. Okay. Okay, what happened? There we go. Income and expenses. Yes. Oh, okay. Not letting you type. Oh. So if you click on it, I wonder why. May I? Okay. Okay. Huh. But if I do it in there, I think you're having a bug.
Is that why it won't let me save it? Because I tried saving it and it wouldn't save.
It wouldn't save?
Yeah. It looks like this file does not match. I could make the...
Where are we? Let's just put it on this desktop. Call it book 1. Okay, it appears to be working now. So I think it was having a bug. And so when you finish this, you'll want to rename the document that's sitting on your desktop and then move it to your USB drive. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Okay, so we got budget, income, and expenses. All right, so we're going to put all of his income and expenses under these items here, under these headers. But let's go ahead and give the Denny budget a cell style of title. You guys remember how to do that? Hasn't been too long. Okay. Sometimes people forget from week to week. All right. Income, let's go ahead and make that an H1 style. And then expenses, we'll make that an H1 style. All right. And let's also go ahead and, let's just go ahead and start with that. So for income, what's our, we're going to need to get our months in here. So let's go ahead and start with January, right? Jan. If I go to the next one and type in Feb, let's see what autofill will do for us, all right? So I've got January, February, will autofill. Yeah, autofill, if I grab that little lower right rectangle of color and drag it to the right, I've got autofill happening all the way across. Okay, so we want January through December, right? It's a full year. Okay. Did anybody's autofill fail? Did it work? Well, yeah, let's do this first. Let's go ahead and make this also the header style 1. Heading style 1. And then you can either copy and paste. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's just copy and paste. Let's select January through December and then control what on your keyboard? C. And then it's going to be right down here. We're going to hit Control P, right? For paste. Yes. Okay. Control what? V. Excellent. And now if I want to deselect what's on here, anybody know the key to deselect? Escape. Exactly. So if you hit escape on the keyboard, it's way in the upper left-hand corner. It'll deselect the dancing ants here. All right, so for income, my first item will be what? Escape. So upper left corner. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put, I'm in A4 now. What's my first item going to be for income? Okay. I did. Yeah. It's not working. V. Yeah, so let's try it again. Go ahead and click and drag across. Yeah, all the way. And then Control C. And then put your cursor right there. Just put it right there. Put your cursor right there. There you go. And now Control V. There we go. And then we're going to set those as heading 1 style also. Yeah. Great. Awesome. Okay, so we've got 3 incomes, right? Based upon what you can see here on the worksheet. Okay, that Denny worksheet I think I gave you. So the first one is what? Wood cutting. All right, so we got wood cutting. Whoop, not weed cutting. Wood cutting. And I can see I'm going to need some more columns, or I'm sorry, more rows in here. So I'm going to right-click on the 4 all the way to the left. I don't know if you can see it on screen there, but right-click on the 4 there, and then hit Insert, and then Insert again. Right, so we should have something that looks like that. Did everybody get that right there? I think we're going to need one more because we're going to want a space there. So let's go ahead and insert one more. There we go. That way we'll have 3 items and then a space and then expenses. All right, so wood cutting ended up down here for me. Hopefully it did the same for you. But if it's down here on line 7, I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Just Control what? X. put it into A4 and paste it there. Okay. So everybody knows what I mean when I say A4, right? Everybody's played Battleship? So you know what it is? Okay. The reason I ask is because I don't want to assume anything. I had a Chinese national. He used to sit right here in my CS 110 class. And I said, it's just like Battleship. It's A4. She's like, I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about. I don't play Battleship there, okay? So, I just want to make sure. Okay, so you can see a bunch of these lines showed up. These are from the heading 1 style. All right, so I want to remove those. So I'm going to go ahead and select all the way across down to M7. Select that whole thing, and I'm going to go back up into my cell styles and change it to normal. Who did I lose? Okay, and then I'm going to set my cell style to normal. So instead of heading 1, it'll be normal. Okay, so there we go. All right, so woodcutting was our first income, right? What's our second one? Mushroom. Darn it. Collecting. Okay. And then his third income, snow removal. All right. He leads a pretty interesting life, I think. Got a bunch of things he does. Okay. Now that we can see how wide this is, we can change our header to match. So I'm going to go ahead, or my title, I can go ahead and select all the way from A to M in row 1 and do a merge and center. Remember how to do merge and center? Anybody remember how to do that? How do I do that? Select it. Anybody remember? Okay. So where is it? That one? Okay. All right. Excellent. Merge and center. Great. All right. So Denny Budget all the way across from A to M. You can see that some of these things are going to get cut off. So I'm going to come up here between A and B in that little divider and watch my cursor change and double click it. That way it will auto fit my content right there. Yes. Yeah. So for instance, you see where it says mushroom collecting? That is going to that's going to get cut off if I put any content in B, right? So what I want to do is I want to be able to see all of that. So I'm going to come up here. You see column A and column B. There's this little divider between them. And when I move my cursor over it, my cursor changes. That's what I want my cursor to look like, and I want to double click at that spot. You got it? Okay. Excellent. So we can see all the way across. All right. So now, for wood cutting, we've got some numbers here. Okay? So where should those numbers go? Yes, sir. Yeah. Copying. Okay. So there we go. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try this and show you. Let's see here. Okay. I'll just back up this way. Okay. So for everybody's benefit, if you ever want to unmerge these, it's the same button, right? It's the same gallery. I can unmerge cells. So what's happening for you, Nick, is when I do that, this is happening, right? Okay. The problem was that you grabbed that little lower right corner. Okay, that's for filling, but I want to select. I don't want to fill. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cursor, put it right here in the middle, and click and drag all the way across. All right. So if you accidentally grab that little corner and drag it, it's going to try and fill it with something that makes sense to Excel. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way across and then merge and center. Bam! There we go. Okay. So where should our first bit of income land? Where? May. In May. There we go. May, how much? Made $800. Okay. And then? June, 3,000. Okay. And then? How much? 3,500 in July. And I'm hitting tab as I go because it'll kick me to the next one, right? Okay. Is there an August one for woodcutting? 4,200. Excellent. Is there one for September? 4,000. Right? October? Nothing there. Okay. All right. So then for mushroom collecting, what do we got? It starts in April. Okay. How much? 7,500. Woo! Good job, Denny. All right. Next. 8,500. What's the next one? Okay, so we got 2 months of mushroom collecting and that's it, right? Okay, and then snow removal, when? November to February. November through February. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our November one. And $1,500 a month. 1,500. And then December? Yeah, all the way through to February. All the way. Okay, so January is also going to get 1,500 in February, right? Okay, great. Wouldn't you want to have another year? If you're... Because it didn't start. Yeah, it won't matter. I mean, if we're looking at the yearly budget, right, it won't matter if you start a new year. This is going to be the big picture. So... Because if you think about it, he earned it in the end of this year and the beginning of next year. Yes, right. So we're really starting. Well, let's say we're in July, and it would make yeah.
Now, I wouldn't do my budget like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
if you really wanted to see kind of where you're going with it, you might want to start and end it in July. Yeah. Makes sense, right? Okay. We're just going to do it in January. Keep things simple. Yeah. All right, so we got some expenses. What do we got from expenses? Alejandro, what do we got for expenses? So we got camping. Okay. And when does he do that? November through April. It's $10 a day, so we're going to have to know how many days are in November, aren't we? That's not right. It's not right? Yeah. May through October? November through April, he lives with his mother. Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, if you have to camp out in November and December, that's pretty cold stuff. Okay, so we're starting in May then, right? Okay, so how many days we got in May? 31. So it's $10 a day, so it's going to be $310 for that month. Anybody know the rhyme for the days?
I forgot.
31 days hath November, April, December. 31 days hath December, April, June, and November? Oh, it starts with November. 31 days hath November, April, June, and December. All the rest. You could look at the calendar. So she has a great point because we have a tool. We have a tool literally one click away. You look down here at the calendar, right? Click on that. Click on the time and the date. And you can see how many days are in that. All right. So in June, I'm going to back up. You got up and down arrows. All right. I'm going to back this up to see how many days are in June. All right. So I got 30 days in June. So that's going to be $300, right? $10 a day. So June is going to be 300. Go back. July has 31. So that's going to be 310. So I can go forward by clicking the arrow right there. August has 31 days. And then he camps out through when? May through what? Summer and spring, but
It says it only went through November through.
okay, so he camps out in September and October then? Is that correct? Okay. All right. Okay. We'll go with it. All right, so September then, we get the number of days in September has 30, and then October is 31, right? So 30 days in September will be $300. October will be 310. Woo! Not that many. 310. Okay, all the rest he spends with his mom? Is that right? Okay. All right. So then, what's the next expense? Maintenance. Is that one category, or is it two? Maintenance and gas. Okay, so I'll shorten this up by using an ampersand, which is shift 7. Right? That means and, as though and wasn't short enough. Maintenance and gas. All right, what do we got for maintenance and gas? Okay, so the easiest way then is going to be putting in $200 and then drag filling, right? And drag fill all the way across and then go back and delete March. Does that make sense? Okay. Right. What's our next expense, Emily? Food. Okay. And what do we got for food? $250 each month. No exceptions, right? Okay. He's not eating any of his product there, mushroom collecting. So we're going to go ahead and drag fill all the way across. Go ahead and take a moment to save. All right. Gabe, what's our next expense? Energy drink. Okay, what do we got that for monthly income or monthly expense there? $15 a day. Oh, there's some reality to that, isn't it? Okay, so how many days in January? 31. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little bit of math, right? So you guys remember how to get to your calculator? Okay, so we got 31 times 15. $465 for January. That's almost as high as some people's Starbucks bill. Okay, somebody do the math for February, assuming it's not a leap year. Using your calculator on your computer. 420. Giving you a buy on this one, Crystal. Somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, so every 4 years, February has an extra day, right? Okay, so. How much?
Next year is 29 days.
Oh, so next year is the leap year? Okay. Okay. We're doing 28. Yeah, we're pretending. All right, so for March, somebody do the math for March. On using your computer, that is. Did I hear it? 465? Okay. 465. April? How much? 450. Fewer days there. April. Only 30 days in April, right? May is what? 465. June? 450. July? 465. 465. October? 465. $450. Okay. Awesome. All right. Leanne, what's our next expense? Okay, so clothing, $35 a month? Okay. 35. It puts it into savings?
Yeah, it goes into savings.
Right. Okay. But for his budget though, we're assuming that it's earmarked for this. Okay? All right. So, let's go ahead and use your drag fill all the way across. There's no month that he doesn't save for it, correct? Okay. How are we doing, guys? Do we need a break? I see one nod. We need a break? Okay. 5-10 minutes. What do you think? 5 or 10? 10? Okay. So we'll meet back here at 1:20 then. You in Radio Land, we added a couple of items that I forgot to record. So you'll have to look at this. Okay. All right, we added club dues and pet meds. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to see our totals for each month, and we want to see the total for the year. Okay, so let's go ahead and in row 7, let's right-click on that 7 and insert another row here because we want to put a totals line in here. So in A7, let's go ahead and put totals. You going to make it, Leanne? Okay. You already did it. Okay. You're like, forget you. I'm faster than you, Richardson. Okay. All right. We could do we could go ahead and drag across from A7 to M7 and change that cell style to total. So go up to cell style, And then I'm looking for total right there. Okay. Did I lose anybody? Messed up. Okay. Okay, let's do the same thing here. Go ahead and put total in at the end of our expenses. And then drag across and make that into a total cell style all the way across. Yep. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. So if we want to know what our expenses are for each of these, or for our income for each of these line items, we could also go ahead and put a total in at the end. All right. So for instance, at the end of wood cutting, we can find out how much he's making in wood cutting per year. So let's go into column N and put in a total here. I'm going to go ahead and set that. I'm going to set this entire thing from row 3 through 7, column N. I'm going to set that to a total cell style also. Let's do the same thing here. Total. Set that to, where are you, total? There we go. Right. How you guys doing? Did I lose anybody? Say again? What's happening? Oh. Now it works. I did it like so undo that. Try and select something else. And now go click and drag down. Okay, so undo that. All right, may I?
Yep.
Okay. Here's what it is. It's a click and then grab, and it wants to. Oh, it's not even going to do it now. Oh, for crying out loud! There we go. Okay, so do you see the difference? I put my cursor over the edge of it, and now I'm moving it.
Okay.
Okay, but that's not what we want. We just want
it.
it.
Middle.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So Crystal brought up something that we should know about. If you want to, huh?
Should it go like all the way down into the total?
Yeah, it should. All right. If you want to move something, if you click on it and you hover your cursor over one of the edges and you drag, you grabbed the wrong one. Oh, it'll move it. Okay. If you just click in the middle of it and drag, you select. That's the difference between the two. So it's really easy to accidentally move stuff if your cursor changes to that right there. All right. So if it's still a plus, it's just making selections. If it changes to kind of that four-way arrow symbol, when you click, it'll drag. Okay. All right. So let's go back. And let's go ahead and use our auto sum feature. I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor in B7. Anybody remember how to auto sum? Okay, go ahead and do it now. I'll wait for you.
All the expenses?
Just do January's income. Yes.
I got the right information on it, but like I put dollar signs in all of these, and it's put dollar signs in some, but not in all of them.
Gotcha.
trying to figure out why it did that.
Yeah. Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll do the formatting in just a minute, and it should fix it. Okay. If it doesn't, let me know. Okay. So let's go ahead, and if you didn't remember, follow me. I'm going to put my cursor in B7, and then go up to that sigma icon. It's the sort of backwards E. And click on Sum, or if you hit Auto Sum, it'll work. Okay, so
I didn't run that.
probably not.
So I clicked up on January.
Yeah.
Highlighted it all the way down and then did auto.
You can do that. All right. So here's the thing. When I did this, it only grabbed this one item, right? That's a problem. I don't want it just to have this item. I want to have it from B4 down through B6. Okay? And that is because if I ever want to go back and fill in a number here in B4 in January and have it automatically add those together, I want my formulas working properly. Okay? So I'm going to give it a range. I'm going to go ahead and fix that individually. So if you look up here in the formula bar, it says equals sum B6. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor right before the B6. I'm going to type in B4 and then put a colon in there. And you see how it fixed my selection? Okay, so you can actually go in there by hand.
Mine just says 15.
Oops, sorry. So put your cursor right there. Yeah, go ahead and click on it. Okay, sum B6. Put your cursor in right before the B6. Type B4 colon. Just shift that one. Yeah, it's got to be shift. There you go. Okay, then hit return. Or enter, sorry. Okay, so that should be correct. All right, if you've done it correctly, it should be highlighting. If you click on, oops. Okay, backing up. Go ahead and auto sum this again. All right, so in my formula bar, it should say equals sum, and in parentheses, B4 colon B6. That B4 is my starting place. The B6 is my stopping place. Okay? Jeffrey, you look confused. Okay, fantastic. Okay. And then I'm going to hit enter, and it will actually apply the formula. If I want to double check my work, I can go back to B7 and click on it and just check my formula here. If I click on it,
What's the colon mean again?
it divides the starting place from the ending place. That's all it does. Yeah. For the sum feature, it divides starting from ending. Because if, we kind of think in terms of from this to that, and we'll put a dash in there, but that acts as a minus sometimes. So they put the colon in there because that's meaningful to their formula, the way they want to do their formulas. Yeah. Right. And so I can either hit enter or just escape, right? If I don't want to make any changes, escape works to deselect it. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that again for February. So that'd be C7. All right, go ahead and auto sum that one. And it, mine says C6. Okay, so I want to correct that by hand. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type into there C4 colon, colon. Okay. So I'm going to, anybody need this anymore up here on the board? You can erase it? Okay. So a couple things about the way it does formulas. First of all, the first thing that Excel likes to see is equals. This tells it I'm going to use a formula. And then it could be anything in here. There's a whole bunch of formulas. Sum is the one that we use. And then whatever is in the beginning with a colon, and then whatever's at the end here, and then it's done. Okay? So this is called its range. So from beginning to end. And it divides it with a colon. You could put all kinds of stuff in here. All right? If you just wanted to do straight math, you could say, then it would be a formula. Nope. In this case, you're just doing math, doing straight math. You could do straight math in there. And that way you don't have to go to a calculator. If you don't want to, you can just put it in there. So we could have done, with his raging energy drink addiction, we could have said equals 31 with an asterisk. That's that little star. What was it, 15? Should give you that, right? Okay. You can do that kind of stuff too. Just order of operations, right? We're going to add these two things together. We're going to subtract these two things. And then we're going to subtract this from this, right? Order of operations. It all works in there. But the equal sign is what tells it, what tells Excel we're going to do a formula. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to double check. In C7, I'm going to put my cursor up here in the formula bar and just make sure that my highlighting is correct. And it should highlight from C4 down to C6, which is exactly what my range is. Okay? Just going to double check that and hit enter. All right. Okay, we're going to do this one by hand. Okay? So go ahead and put your cursor in D7. Come up to the formula bar. What's the first thing you're going to type in there? Equals. Exactly. All right, equals. And then what? Sum. And then we got parentheses, right? Okay, if I put my cursor in between those parentheses, this is where things get kind of cool and easy. I can highlight what I want it to sum. So I clicked and dragged from D4 down to D6, sorry, D6. And it highlighted it. Did that work for you? Okay, fantastic. And then all you got to do is hit enter. Okay, let's do this. Let's do column E by hand also. All right, so E7. Come up here to the formula bar. Type in what first, Alejandro? Equal sign. And then what, Gabe? Sum. Perfect. And then we're going to put it in parentheses, right? Okay. And then I'm going to put my cursor right between those parentheses. Then what am I going to do? Crystal. Oh. Okay, how do I select my range here for my sum function?
You can highlight the column.
Highlight the column or the cells. Perfect. Right, and then hit enter. Awesome. Well, what's the easiest way to do all of this? Highlight how? So like this?
So, yeah, you can highlight it and then just go to AutoSum because...
You can do AutoSum?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
And so now it's doing.
Right. So what we could do, we could do even faster. Okay, so you're correct. You could do that and hit AutoSum. But what I could also do is go to the last one I did, grab that little tiny rectangle, drag it all the way to the right. Because I've established a pattern, we do need to go back and double check it, all right? So I'm going to hit escape, all right, just so make sure I'm not selecting. I'm going to click on, what was it, F7 here, put my cursor in there, and just make sure it's highlighting the right area, because I didn't want it to accidentally select these and sum them. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Yours is not working? Again, it's that karma. You got to use your pleases and thank yous. Okay. Oh, you want to add that one, right?
Yeah.
So F4. You might be just easier to type it in there. F4.
Okay.
Go and then hit enter. There we go. That's it.
It's not doing this one either.
Right. Okay. It's because you had an error in your function which you propagated by dragging it to the right. So grab that one right there. Click on that one.
This one.
Oh shoot. Escape. Now try it again. Okay. Now click and drag your autofill all the way across to N.
Like that?
Yep. That looks right. So that's 3,000, right? 35.
I
Okay.
got it first time, but I think so.
Okay. All right. So there we go. All the way across. Let's see. Yes.
So I think that, I don't know what that little green thing is, but like I was just trying to do that.
Yeah.
And then it
Oh.
here my like the little green.
Yeah, that's a problem, I think. Still, may I? Okay. Let's see what we got here. I am not sure what you got.
What's that little? You click on that thing.
Now that inconsistent formulas. Let's see. So that looks correct. That looks correct. That is D 4 through 7. That looks correct. I'm not sure what that little tab means. I'm not sure how you accomplish that. Special feature. Yeah, I think it's looking good. I'm not seeing any errors. That little tab, I'm not sure what it means. Never seen it before.
How do I get it? to come out
Oh,
zero then?
right. Okay, so let's back up. All right,
Let's see
so
if I type it in by hand, it should work.
okay, so this looks right. So let's go ahead and do this one. That looks correct.
There.
Yeah, that looks correct, and that looks correct. So let's just double check. Yep, looks good. I'm not sure. There was something funky going on there, but that's fixed. And the other one, I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and do your first total on the row 4 by hand. So go ahead and type it in. So this is going to be equals sum, right? And if I type in B4, right, put a colon in, my last one is going to be M4. M as in Mary, M4. Right? And you can tell it's correct because it's highlighted that whole strip right there. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay. Now, cool thing about Excel, I can just keep autofilling that. So once I've got that formula done, I can grab that little drag fill, drag it down. All right. So if I got my formulas correct, in row 4, I should have a total of 15,500. Row 5 should be 16,000. Row 6, 6,000. It didn't drag fill?
Yeah, but I tried to do it with mine and it kept popping.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and escape. Hit escape on your keyboard. Okay. Put your cursor back into N4. Yeah, just click. Yeah, just click on it. No, N4. There we go. Now grab that little drag fill. There. Now drag it down. There we go. Yeah, you got it. All right. So did everybody get a total income of 37,500? No? Uh-huh. So do this, Nick. Check your numbers here against mine. Make sure that each of your monthly incomes are the same. They're all the same? Okay, I'll come check in just a second. All right. So what I'd like you to do is do the same thing for expenses. Go ahead and auto-sum all of your columns. Auto-sum your rows. Okay, let's find out.
This column up here is correct. B7 through M7.
Oh, I see. Okay, so go ahead and grab that little drag fill and drag it all the way down. Okay, I'm not sure what happened then. May I? Okay. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Should be summing B7. What? What? That's not right. What? That's crazy. Okay, let's try it this way then. I'm going to set this to that. Should have worked the same. All the numbers should be the same both ways, right? You understand that? I don't know why it wasn't working. Weird. Weird. Good job, Diane. All right, so we got equals, sum, whoop, That's what it feels like most of the time. Okay, what just happened there? Oh, I see what happened. Sum, cross, okay, I'm going to take this column and just sum it. Now you can drag fill both directions. Yeah. All right, so did everybody get a sum income of $37,500 by show of hands? So a couple of you didn't? Crystal, you got it, right?
I'm not done.
Okay. Ted, how'd you do?
I haven't even started off still messing with the first.
Okay. Can I help? Okay.
right and everything.
Yeah.
But when I tried to make sure that October, I'm going through to make sure that all of them are correct from how I drag filled it.
Yes.
So now I don't have anything in that box.
Okay, so go ahead and go back to. Oh yeah, you could do it that way, I suppose.
But watch what happens.
And it shot it down to here.
Yes.
So something funky happened. Let's fix that. Go ahead and put your cursor on J7. Now drag fill to the right. Okay, that's what we expected. Yeah, that looks good. All your totals look right. Okay. So then go ahead
And I
and.
was asking if you can just take and do this.
Oh yeah, you could. I
and
think.
then get totals down to the bottoms and tops.
See what happens. Let's find out.
So if I would have.
Whoops.
Oops.
Undo that. Yeah. Even faster.
You don't have to do each column.
No. But we would miss out on some skill building. So that's the reason I don't do it. But you're right. Yeah. So we got to learn how to do equations by hand. We got to learn how to do drag fill. So Ted brings up a great point. This is what he did. He grabbed all of this stuff and hit auto sum, and it did every single column all at the same time. Just that fast. All right, so those are the shortcuts that are really handy. Okay? We didn't do it so that we could learn about how the stuff works. All right, and then he did the same thing with this column, and it auto-summed all of those across, all the rows. So it's really, really fast. I love that auto-sum and the drag fill. All of those are great tools. All right, so here we go. There are things that we need to know. All right, first of all, total yearly revenue. What'd you get? Right. Okay, so that was number one, the first thing that Denny wanted to know. Revenue per month, then, is all of these items, right? Each of these particular items is revenue per month. So that's two things checked off the list. Total cost of living. What total cost of living did you get? Diane? 13,319? Is that what everybody got? Fantastic. All right, so that's what it costs for Denny to live. So he's doing pretty good. He makes more income than he spends. Huh? 13,319 is what I got. Well, let's go ahead and finish up and finish up and we'll have you look, see if we got some problems. All right, so that's the third one, total cost of living, and then cost of living per month are these items down here, right? Okay. Okay, so let's see here. The next to the last bullet, things that Denny wants to know. Denny knows his raging energy drink addiction is going to eventually stop his heart. He wants to know how much he can save per year for a heart transplant. So, well, how did we find that? Huh? Per year? All right, so let's go ahead and come down here. We're going to say save per year. I'm going to go ahead and make that into a total cell style. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right here. All right, so let's go ahead and put in here equals, and it's going to be our income minus our expenses, right? To find out how much he can save for that heart transplant. Does that make sense? Okay, go ahead and mash on your total income, and then type in minus, and then your total expenses. and then hit enter. I'm afraid not. Okay, so I'm going to put in here, first thing is equals, and then I'm going to mash on, go up here, all right? So you can see my, come on, my total income is in N7, right? And then I'm going to type into there a minus symbol, all right? And then I'm going to mash on my total expenses, which is N17. And then if I hit enter now, it'll do the math for me. So I get to save this per year, $24,181. I lost you. Okay. I'll back up. Okay, so we're, do you have this saved per year? Okay. Put your cursor in the next one over, which will be B19, right? Something like that. Okay. So I'm going to go up to my formula bar. And the first thing I've got to do is put in an equals, because I'm going to be writing in a formula. Huh? You got it? Okay. And then all I have to do is click on the cell for my income, right? That's my total yearly income right there. So that's N7. And I'll type in minus now. And then mash on N17, because that's our total expenses for the year. And then if I hit enter, it'll do the math for me, and it says that Denny can save $24,181. Did that? Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay, so let's do a little bit of an internet search here real quick. What a heart transplant costs and how long it's going to take to save for one. How much? Okay, so let's see here. Heart transplant. Okay, so 1 million, 1.4, 1, so that's 400,000, right? 1,400,000? 1.4 is? Okay, so I've got 1,400,000. Check my numbers to make sure I got it right. Okay. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros there. 14 and 5 zeros. Okay. How long? How long? Okay. So if we go over here, I've got a how long category now. If we go from, let's see, I'm going to put it in B23. I'm going to type in equals, and I'm going to take my heart transplant total. So I'm going to mash on B21. And if I type in the divide by symbol, which is just underneath on your keyboard, just underneath your question mark. It's just a slash, right? That's the divide by. And then I'm going to mash on B19. Does that make sense? Okay, because that's what he's making per year. It's going to take him a little while to... Is that 57 years?
My numbers are off, but I think it's because my numbers were off.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if your numbers are off at the top, then it'll be off. Okay. Yes. All right. So, any questions about how we did that? Yes? You just can't believe it? Oh, okay. You want to know the formula, Leanne? Okay. So here I am. Right up here. I see. Okay.
When I put in the formula, I came up with a different number, so I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to redo it.
Okay.
And the equals sign.
And then you can just mash on that one, and then put it divide by symbol, and then mash on that one, and then hit enter.
See, I came up with a different number than what you did.
57.9. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So let's look real quick. I think we're going to be able to fix this in just a second. Okay, so if I hit enter, 57, and I've got a whole bunch of 0.8967 in yours, and you've got 5.9. Right, okay, so let's look at a couple things real quick here. Let's do some formatting for our numbers, okay? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to click B4 and drag down through N7. Okay, I want all of these to be dollar signs, right? This is all currency. So I'm going to change my number format by coming up here into the ribbon where it says number. Go ahead and click on the dollar sign. This is the accounting number format. So mash on that. Okay. Now, it put, it took 1,500 and made it $1,500.00. I'm going to remove the some of the decimal places because I just want to deal in whole numbers. All right. So, still up here on the number part of the ribbon, I'm going to click on this right here, which says decrease decimals. All right. I'm going to click that twice to get rid of those. Okay? Did that help? A little bit? Somewhat. Okay. So then we'll do the same thing for our expenses. I'm going to drag from B10 down to N17. And I'm going to come down here. I'm going to hold down my control key, click on B19 and B21, because those are also dollar signs, right? Jeffrey? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. Right there? Oh. Oh. Over. Uh-huh. Oh, that right there. Yes. Yes, you can. Right. So there's lots of different ways to do stuff. Excel puts a couple of things up front for quickness. That, what you're talking about right there, that menu right there, gives you all the options, which is great. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right. So you can see currency, and you can change the currency. You can change the number of decimal places. But let's, and just remember that that's there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just click on the dollar sign and then take the decimals away. All right. I clicked on remove decimals there. Now in this case where some of you got a dollar sign in there, you don't want that to be a dollar sign because it doesn't represent money. It represents time. So we can just come up here, all right, where it says, we can come up to this top item and just change it to either general or number. Either one works. And then remove however many decimal points you want. All right, so in my case, I had 5.9. I'm guessing that it had, it's rounding up as I remove decimal points. Okay? So there we go. I'm going to leave it there. One last thing I want to show you, we're a little bit over time, real quick, is, where are you? Sort, where are you? Page layout. Effects, here we go. Okay, go to page layout real quick. You remember how we formatted a bunch of things as cell styles? Cell styles work in relation to themes. Okay? So on the page layout, if you go to themes and you click on it, you get all of these different formats. This is a gallery of themes. You can click any of these and quickly change the look and feel of your page. And it all relates to those cell styles that we set. Okay? That's why we kind of did it along the way. But you could do it all at once, all at the end. Doesn't really matter. I just wanted to show you with the flick of a wrist, you can change your document theme really quick. Right? And I'm going to leave you there because we are over time. Yes, go ahead and submit this file. And signing